The following program is produced by the Tech Talk Radio Network.
Hi, this is Adrienne Barbeau. You're listening to Tech Talk Radio, and you're going to learn a lot.
Welcome to another episode of Tech Talk Radio. I'm Andy Taylor.
I'm Shawn DeWeird.
And I'm Justin Lemmy.
A lot going on in the world of tech. We're 1 week away from Windows 10 support ending, and it seems to be like everywhere you look, every broadcast news channel, every feed on tech blogs is all talking about this, how Windows 11, if you haven't upgraded yet, you got to upgrade. And, I don't know if it's fear or whatnot, but Microsoft keeps making some changes too along the way, fighting these people who are trying to hold on to Windows 10.
The frustration I've seen is that they've just kind of blanket statements said, we're done. And they've made it seem like nobody's going to support Windows 10 forever again. Or you could pay the $30 for the non-pro version or the $60 for the pro version to get another year. And then I'm sure you'll be able to pay, as the years go on, pay some more money to keep support. But what I've seen is corporations that security is a big deal. And that's just important. But you've seen IT from large corporations just go, every Windows 10 machine's gone.
Yeah.
I've seen pictures on Reddit and stuff of pallets of Windows 10 machines just being shipped out and surplused. And some of them are running i9s with 64 gigs of RAM. I've been seeing people salvaging these from corporations that are getting rid of all these Windows 10 machines that are really good machines. One piece of it can't support Windows 10 or Windows 11, or they just are wholesaling all these computers to get new machines that support Windows 11. I just don't understand the mass fleeting panic and leaving of Windows 10.
Justin, you're in IT. Like, how does an organization look at this to try and to deal with this?
Well, I mean, I've just been slowly but surely just removing Windows 10 from any computer that I possibly can, when it comes up to it. We do have some point of sale machines that running Windows 10, but we actually paid Microsoft for extended support. So we can have those machines supported with all the updates for, I want to say it's probably 2027, 2028 maybe,
I think.
Cool. Yeah. So we got a couple more years of support on those. But yeah, if it's like an end user computer, I'm just, nope, sorry, you're running Windows 11. But how far away are we from Windows 11 being end of support? I mean, they haven't even announced Windows 12 yet. Usually they've got, before they end support on one, they've got one out, another one out, and then one announced and on the way. They haven't even said anything about Windows 12.
We've heard little bits like Windows 12 will do this, will do that. It will be cool. It will be good. And in the timeline of Microsoft, how you look at how they distribute their versions of software, it should be the one that is really good. That's got to get people concerned too. Is Microsoft suddenly going to say, well, sorry, you can't use it anymore. We're not going to do the updates. And that's the frustration for a lot of people right now. Oh, I can pay $30 and then I get the updates for another year, or I can back up my OneDrive. And then people go, well, wait a minute, why don't you just give me the security updates so I can run 10 anyways? Why not? Even the Federal Trade Commission is saying, oh, wait a minute, Microsoft, what's going on here? They've started to question some of the madness behind all of this. People are kind of upset.
Yeah. I mean, I can understand why people are upset. And, we might touch upon it later on the show, but Microsoft is making all kinds of mistakes right now. I mean, with Xbox Game Pass and everything else, I mean, they're really screwing the pooch here.
Yeah. One of the things though, okay, for security's sake, TPM 2.0, Secure Boot. They say it will bring a more secure environment for somebody. We were able to install Rufus on this machine, which was just one generation short of making the Windows 11. Have a TPM 2.0, the whole bit, but it wouldn't allow it. So we went ahead and went the Rufus route and got Windows 11 installed. But for the sake of security, wouldn't it make sense, though, most people should have that kind of security enabled to be able to really benefit from that?
I'm not really sold on TPM. The TPM architecture, no matter 1.0, 2.0, whatever, 3.0 tomorrow. I'm not really sold on it.
I think a lot of the pressure for TPM 2.0 is coming from, it's a hardware module that exists, right? And you're seeing a lot of the anti-cheats having to be installed at the BIOS or the root level of your machine.
When we're talking anti-cheat, you're talking about video gamers.
Yeah, video game anti-cheat, right? It's a big problem in the gaming industry, and that's been the big push for it. is games are requiring you to have TPM 2.0 installed to run their games.
Yeah,
for certain
Activision.
things.
Activision apparently has said
which
that
is owned by Microsoft.
Activision claims 97% of cheaters it catches in Call of Duty Black Ops 7 are banned within 30 minutes, and they say it's all because of secure boot and ricochet. They say that they actually check. If you want to play the game, to be able to play the game, you have to have TPM 2.0, and you have to have secure boot. If you don't have that, you're not going to be able to play. Battlefield 6 apparently also requires secure boot as well. So that actually means that a lot of people who want to play that maybe aren't even on that platform are not going to be able to play.
My problem, right, with the whole TPM or, the easy anti-cheat or whatever you want to call it, you're allowing a kernel level access to your machine. That is a massive, massive security flaw. If anybody ever finds a way to get into and exploit TPM or exploit secure boot or anything like that, it is going to destroy millions of computers instantly. Mm-hmm. You don't ever allow kernel level access to anything. If they're saying, oh, this is for video games, there are so many people out there that don't play video games. Why do I need TPM? I don't play video games. Personally, I do. But I'm saying, as a person who doesn't play video games, why would they need TPM? It just doesn't make any sense. I just don't agree with it. Like, they're saying, oh, it's going to protect you. It's secure. I don't think so.
Yeah. Shawn, you were mentioning something earlier, though, that Microsoft is continuing kind of its push. Of course, they'll give you the access to be able to continue to run Windows 10 and get the security updates if you allow it to back up to OneDrive. The downside to that, some people have asked me, is that, okay, well, what's wrong with that? The problem is OneDrive only has a certain a limit when it comes to capacity for the free OneDrive. If you sign
it's
up,
5 gig.
5 gig. So if you go beyond 5 gig, which you've experienced before, then you're gonna have to pay for that storage. So either way, you may end up paying out money.
It's confusing to you and end users, right? I helped my father-in-law build his Windows 11 machine, and I tried to do it I tried to do it with the no pass command line piece that's been floating around. Didn't work. Had to create an account. We created an account. Then he started moving stuff over from flash drives, and then he called me and said, "It says I'm out of storage." I was like, "Bro, you just got a 2 terabyte drive in there. How are you out of space?" Well, it says I only have 5 gigs, and as soon as he said that, I knew it was OneDrive. So I'm frustrated about that, just like a lot of other people are. That they're forcing you to create these Microsoft accounts. Like, why?
Yeah.
Oh, it's to serve me ads. It's to get my data. It's to
train their AI.
Yeah. So it's just like, I don't have the necessity, like the platforms in place to go Linux everything. I would love to. It's just there are certain things that I need Windows for. I have a couple Macs that I use, and I would love to go Linux, but I just would have to get Caitlin on board with that, and I'd have to. But I just don't want the bloat that comes with it, and tying it to a Microsoft account. It ties you. I don't know. It's just frustrating.
Yeah. And, people have to understand there are options, and that's the thing too. And I've noticed, I don't know if it's just me, but it seems like Apple has been kind of, I don't want to say slashing the prices, but it noticed that some of the pricing on their, MacBooks and that type of thing seems to be a little more affordable.
Their prices have come down, right?
Yeah.
For their entry level, right? And the big part of one of their releases, I think earlier this year, was upping the base level of RAM in their MacBooks to 16 gig, because they had been at 8 for a long time, and they finally bumped it up to 16 for their minimum state. Like you can't get anything with less than 16. But with their M chips, right, and their development of their own M chips, they've been able to significantly drop the prices on their Mac Mini models, their iMac models, their MacBook models, things like that. So you can build a decent PC for $500-$600 that can do a lot of things. You'd be hard pressed to find a computer that could compete with, say, like an M4 Mac Mini for $599.
Yeah.
If you're into the types of things you would use a Mac Mini for, video editing, video processing, photo editing, those types of things. You'd be better off building a PC if you want to do gaming, that type of stuff, because the Steam libraries are there's more Steam stuff, the more Steam support, or build a Linux machine. Windows or Linux is going to be better for gaming than a Mac, but gaming on Mac is coming along. It just hasn't always been there. But their prices are very competitive on their desktop models.
Okay, so say somebody listening to the show right now is saying, okay, I have a Windows 7 computer originally. I updated it to 10, and I've used it, and it's been great. But now, there's no way I'm going to be able to go to Windows 11. What are the steps they would need to do if they decide, maybe I'll go ahead and put Linux on this machine? I mean, is it a difficult process?
No, it's not a difficult process. I will make a comment, though. If you're going from 7 to 10 and you use your license to go to 10 from 7, that license from 10 is good to go to 11. Right. You can get that license will get you to 11. So I don't want people to be like, oh, I have to go out and buy a copy of Windows 11. If you want to upgrade to Pro or a different version, yes, then you have to buy a license. But your 10 license is good for a license for Windows 11 with the same version of Windows. So Home,
but if you're
Pro, et cetera.
If you're running a Windows 7 though box, it probably is not going to have the TPM 2.0.
No.
It's not going to have the secure boot. It's MBR.
It's not going to have anything. I mean, if you're running a Windows 7, or if you bought it or built it at a Windows 7, the hardware is so out of date anyway. It's time to build a new computer.
Right. And that's what a lot of people are going to have to make that decision, build a new, and they have less than a week now to get that done. Now, it doesn't mean, like, if some people, is my Windows 10 machine not going to work on the 15th?
Well, yeah, I mean, you're going to get a lot of people that are going to have that fear tactic of coming out and saying your Windows 10 machine is going to quit. I've gotten that from some of my elder family members. Oh, hey, I know you're the computer guy, but it's saying that it's going to be out of support. Is it going to stop working? No, it just means that you're not going to get security updates for it. Here's a process you can do to, like, just convincing people that the computer boogeyman is not out to eat your Windows 10 machines.
I ended up hosing one of my machines, and I'll admit it. I did. I don't know what the heck I did. So I have an Asus board. I have a machine, and I went ahead. Luckily, I made a copy of my SSD that had, and this is the one of, I have two computers that both have the Adobe suite on them. The one that I cannot reinstall because it's, they don't have the servers activated. So I don't want to mess with those. But this machine, I wanted to see if I could do an in-place upgrade. So I made a copy using a docking station, and I checked it. Copy works great. Then stupid me decided to go into the BIOS and start messing around with UEFI and start trying to adjust it so I could get it ready for updating it to Windows 11 and trying to do an in-place upgrade. And when I finally got it to, when I did all these changes to the BIOS, I put the drive in to, go ahead, okay, let's just give this a shot. And I got the error message, the WinLoader was having a problem. And I thought, well, what did I do? So I took the original SSD, put that in. Same thing. I get the blue, it's like a blue screen, it's like, it got some problems here. So, and I can't figure out, this is why I take pictures of everything I do. I can't figure out what I changed in the BIOS to get back so I could boot up to that. I was able to, with another drive I installed just to test, I was able to install Windows 11 on it and do it that way. But once I put this other drive in, I can't do it.
So I think I know why.
Uh-huh.
So if you changed it to secure boot, and your drive is set for master boot record or MBR, it will not read the drive. Okay. Once your BIOS is set for UEFI to secure boot TP 2.0, if you change it to secure boot, your hard drive is invisible. If it's formatted as an MBR, it is invisible to your machine. Period.
Right.
The only way to fix it is to format it for GPT.
Which I don't want to do.
Which you don't want to do. So if you want to get data off of it, I suggest you put it into an external dock, copy it over from there if you want to, because it would be a USB drive or whatever would be able to read it as an external drive versus an internal source drive. If you're trying to boot from it.
You can't go back, though? I can't go back and just say, okay, forget it. Just go back with the original Windows 10 install that I had on it?
Probably not.
So I'd have to buy another board that isn't set for that yet. And hopefully it would work.
Well, you can change it back in the BIOS back to turn secure boot off.
Yeah.
And then this is what I ran into with one of my work machines that didn't support. This is the one that bricked the BIOS when I did this. Is it was trying to read a MBR drive, and it locked up the BIOS and corrupted the BIOS. And I had to flash the BIOS back to
I tried
version.
I tried doing a easy flash on it to see if that made a difference, and it didn't. So, yeah, that's gonna be a project this weekend, I think.
Yeah. So I think that's something that it's going to confuse some people, because a lot of older machines that were set for legacy BIOS before, because UEFI has been out for a while, right?
Yeah.
When it's confusing because everybody in the computer world calls it BIOS, right? It's just what it's been called for as long as I've been playing with computers. Technically, now it's called UEFI.
Okay.
It's not BIOS. BIOS and UEFI are two separate things, but they are all the pre-boot function. So it's like everybody just calls it BIOS. So sometimes if you call it BIOS, it may not actually mean what you think it means, but it can be confusing.
I'm still going to call it BIOS.
Everybody is. I'm just putting that out there. So like if we're talking about BIOS and we're talking about Windows 11, we're likely talking about UEFI, but we're saying BIOS.
All right. Well, I might just try every setting, take photos of every time I do anything, any change, just to try and figure it out. But yeah, that's the one thing. It wasn't being identified at all. And then I did one other change, and then it was coming up saying it was having a problem with the WinLoader. I did notice that Rufus does have the ability to install Windows 11 to an MBR, which that was like, oh, okay, that's good. So you don't have to do GPT install on that. It will install to an MBR, which is good.
That would allow you to boot without secure boot.
Yeah, and do the in place upgrade.
Yep.
So we'll just have to see what has happened. I just don't want to. Again, I'm keeping these drives put aside because I don't want to mess with them.
So to circle back to your original question,
yeah,
what would it take for somebody to install Linux? Right.
Yeah.
There are a handful of flavors of Linux you can get out there, right? The popular ones would be like Ubuntu or Linux Mint or a handful of other distributions. To go to Linux Mint, just Google it, download it, flash it with Rufus or Yummy or any of the other Balena Etcher, any of those. And if you know how to get into your BIOS or your UEFI, pick that drive as your boot, install it, and you can download it and be installed in 15 to 20 minutes, I bet.
Yeah. All right, cool. I like that. We do have listener questions this week, but we also want to cover some of the other announcements that have been made. And speaking of Linux, Shawn, you were talking earlier, pre-show, we were talking about Linux and distributions. I know originally, not long ago, I had tried Ubuntu, and I liked it. It was a good experience. Again, it's for those that really want to have that Windows look. I mean, even the screen looked like a Windows screen. We showed it on television, and they were all commenting, that looks like Windows. It was Ubuntu. And then it wasn't long after that, though, there was a lot of people saying, no, you don't want to use that one. And now there's one that people are saying called Winux, WINUX. But actually, Ubuntu has got something new coming out, and they've got a really good name for it, which I love.
Yeah, so Ubuntu is always here. I'm just going to read off of these. If I say things like Warty Warthog or Breezy Badger or Feisty Fawn, like those are all release names for versions of Ubuntu Linux. Right. And their new version is coming out April of 2026. So they just announced it, and it's called the Resolute Raccoon. So that is the new name for Linux 26.04.
Oh, cool.
So, like yeah, so if it's just kind of a fun thing to go back and look at it, and it can go all the way back. If you go to just Google it, you can find all the Linux names, but all the way from 4.10. At least this webpage has it listed, but it's Warty Warthog. I mean, there's some other really fun ones.
What is
Disco
the new one
Dingo.
called again? What is it? Something Raccoon?
Resolute Raccoon.
Resolute Raccoon. All right, I have to tell you on feedback that we got from some of the videos we have put on YouTube Shorts. You can watch our videos. Just look for our YouTube page, Tech Talk Radio, but also on TikTok. We had posted where we were talking about DriveAware. And that's a software program you can purchase, and it will check your computer for, outdated drivers, can do the updates. And
Do you mean Driver Easy?
Driver Easy. I keep calling it DriveAware.
I was going to say, what is DriveAware?
Yeah.
Driver Easy. Yes.
Easy. Yes. Driver Easy. That's the one. I keep calling it the other thing. Anyway, so I had posted the video, and we had some good comments. Oh, this looks cool. This looks cool. But then we started getting the comments with like, you're putting malware on your computer. The guy there's a guy here at the station that is a Linux pro, and he said, "Oh, don't do that." He said that's absolute malware, spyware. They're spying on you, the whole bit. I went ahead and I ran after I installed Driver Easy. I got it right this time. I went ahead and installed Malwarebytes afterwards, and I wanted to see. What does Malwarebytes pick up? Didn't pick up a thing. Didn't see anything.
I use not even just Malwarebytes. Now, Malwarebytes is consumer level, off the shelf, standard malware software. I use Malwarebytes Threatdown, which is their elite pro level, all-in-one detection and remedy system with actual case managers that are alerted when there's something that pops up on your computer, and they resolve it remotely without even having to have you be user interaction. And I pay $30,000 a year for this.
This is for the corporate side of things, yeah.
Of Malwarebytes Threatdown. And it does not pick up anything when I put Driver Easy on the computer. So whatever this person is saying.
There's a few, yeah.
The stuff that I read, because we talked about this when I installed it, right? I had said that some people I saw the comments on our shorts, and a lot of people are just saying, "Oh, it's a third party. It's not affiliated with Windows. Just use the Windows driver update tool." If the Windows update tool found the 14 missing drivers that I had that helped stabilize my machine, fine, great.
Right.
But do your job, Windows, or I won't have to go get third-party software to do it for you.
Yeah, these are just Linux. These are Linux geeks that are just like everything's Linux, and as soon as you mention Windows, they're just like, ugh, plebs.
No, okay. So those people that say that third-party software can be vulnerable malware stuff, right? There's a history of platforms being delivered with malware, right? That's just a security issue that you just pay attention, and if you see it, get rid of it.
It's a non-issue. Don't even listen to that.
It's just
complete
elitist.
nonsense.
It's just elitists that are just saying, "Oh, I don't use that, so you can't use it because I said so."
Yeah.
Like
I went ahead and bought it after the show and ran it, and it found something like 17 drivers that were not installed that it could update my system with. And then I was reading some of the comments, and I thought, well, let me check out Malwarebytes and put it on here. My subscription that I have to Symantec is going to be ending in December. So, because I paid for a year ahead, and I think I'm going to be switching to Malwarebytes. Everybody's been telling me that, and it's been so frustrating with Symantec because I get pop-ups all the time that are, "Hey, buy this. Let us check this."
I've hated Symantec for probably close to over a decade. I've hated Symantec.
Well, they've been on the show before, and they've been great. The product we looked at it was good for what it did, but they've gone off and branched into so many different directions that I'm frustrated with it. Now, I am getting pop-ups with Malwarebytes to buy more things, but again, that's because I haven't paid for it yet. So as soon as I pay for it, I hope those go away.
Well, that's one of the biggest complaints about any third-party software is they want your money. They are going to aggressively upsell you until you pay for a premium version. You are going to get pop-ups. You're going to get notifications. You're going to get emails. You're going to get phone calls, text messages, regular mail. Like, you're going to get it all from them because they want your business. But it doesn't mean the product stinks. It's just they're salespeople trying to sell you something.
All right. We're going to take a break. We come back. We've got a question about a webcam. So they want to know our thoughts on webcams. So we'll tell you the situation when we come back with more of Tech Talk Radio. I'm Andy Taylor.
I'm Shawn DeWeird.
And I'm Justin Lemmy. We'll be right back.
Now, back to Tech Talk Radio.
All right, now we're back with a listener question. This one comes from Mary in Green Valley. I'm thinking about getting a webcam to talk with my sister who lives in Florida. I said we could FaceTime. We both have iPhones, but she wants to do this over the computer. I need to get a webcam. Do I need to get a webcam for my computer? Any recommendations? And the easiest way to do this is Skype still a thing? Well, first off, no, Skype is not a thing. Skype has been shut down about a year ago. Yeah.
They got replaced by crappy Teams. Get out of here,
Teams.
Microsoft. It's the worst.
Teams.
They had such a good platform. I just don't get it. They had such a good platform with Skype. And, you know, I had a Skype account from, I think, 2004.
Yeah.
When I was in high school, we had a Skype account. And then we used Skype for everything. Had the best low latency, but that's not the point. But boo.
Yeah. So, you know, you can't use Skype. You'd have to use Teams or Zoom. I don't even know if Google Meet is even a thing anymore.
I think Google still does.
You can do Google Meet
like
still,
that.
but
Yeah.
I mean, if to do it straightforwardly, like you said, FaceTime in your question, right? That's still obviously the best thing if you have two iPhones. But to do it on a computer, it's harder without a platform like.
Yeah, it sounds-
Honestly, I don't even know why you'd want to do this with a computer. I mean, like if you've got phones that do FaceTime, why would you want to sit there with a computer and be sitting when like you can walk around with your device and be doing FaceTime? I just personally, I don't get it, but that's your sister you're talking about. So to answer your question,
maybe she's thinking that she'd have to hold the iPhone the whole time. You know, you could get
Set it on your
they
desk.
have mounts. They could actually go on your computer screen. You can just attach it to the side of the screen, and boom, it's on there. That's actually that might even be a better way to go.
Yeah, but I just feel like you're taking so many more steps to try to do it on a computer. Like Justin said, you have to have a platform. It's got to be Discord. It's got to be Zoom. It's got to be Teams.
Discord doesn't even do. Oh yeah, it does. It does.
Yeah, they do. They do video call, but it's
But that doesn't
complicated, right?
sound
Then you got to
like-
make an account, and then you got to do. You got to be
Yeah,
friends, and you got to go
this is
through the whole
just giving
process
you-
and
She
log
doesn't
in.
even have a
and then-
webcam, so Mary doesn't have a webcam. So it sounds to me like her situation is going to be the most easiest possible. So out of Teams, Zoom, what else is there? Google.
I just feel like you're just depreciating the value of the video call by trying to move it to a Windows platform. If you both have FaceTime, that's going to be the superior experience.
There you go. All right.
Yeah, seriously. I mean, I think you just need to tell your sister, no, we're going to stay with FaceTime. Honestly.
I mean, it's just going to work. It's the FaceTime platform is so good for people that are in the iOS ecosystem.
Yeah.
Now, even if you're not an iOS, maybe you have an Android and the sister has an iPhone, you could still do FaceTime.
Yeah, with
You can
RCS.
FaceTime. Yep. Yeah, you can do it. They fixed that on a couple of releases ago, so that's kind of cool. All right, so say she has to get a webcam. What is going to be the best option for her? I mean, all of them have it. Elgato's got them, Logitech, of course. What's going to be the best route for her to go?
I mean, you're going to be able to go to Best Buy, any chain store, and walk in
Even
and
Walmart.
come out with a $25 webcam that's going to look good.
Yeah.
I mean, you can get one you can get them for under $15 probably if you really wanted to, but you're going to pay for if you're looking for one that just does video, no fun features, no lights, no bells and whistles, $15 to $20 I bet from Walmart or Best Buy or wherever your local grocery store is. They all have them now. So
Yeah.
but if you're looking for one that has good quality, 4K, a microphone attached to it, right? Because if you're looking to talk without a headset and a microphone, like we're doing on the show, that's a whole nother level of cost, right?
Yeah.
Because if you go for a cheap one, you're not going to sound very good. You're not going to look very good.
Yeah.
And then if you don't have speakers on your computer, then what? Now you got to buy speakers. Or if you have a laptop, the built-in speakers, right? So it's like, again, going back to the very first part of the question is like, if you already have two phones and you can pair it with your earbuds or your AirPods or whatever, like, I just think you're going down a rabbit hole that's going to just cause you a lot of pain and misery
Yep.
for an experience you can already do with your phone. That's
Right.
That's mobile. The camera's going to look better. The sound's going to be better. You can do it from anywhere. You don't have to be tied to your computer. I mean,
Yeah.
But
it does
go to
make
go to
sense.
Best Buy, ask the guy at the front desk, hey, I need a webcam. He'll point you to the webcams. Spend as much or as little as you want if you want to get a webcam, but I just don't see why.
Yeah, the best solution here, honestly, Mary, is if you're both using iPhones to make it easy, just use the FaceTime, and that's going to be the best. And if it's one of those things where it's like, well, I don't want her to call me when I'm shopping, so we only want to use it while we're sitting at the computer, that could be one thing. Then just set up a time. Just say, we'll set up a time for this.
But if you're already in the Mac ecosystem, or if you already have a Mac, FaceTime works on the Mac also, right? So you don't have to just use your phone. Your sister could be on her phone, and you could be on your computer, or vice versa, or an iPad, or a Mac Mini, or an iMac. They all work with FaceTime. So you can receive calls from any of those. So you can start the call, end the call from any of those devices. Text messages all through the adding your iCloud account to those devices. Works really great. And most of the MacBooks have cameras built in. So again, if you're looking for if you have an iMac or a Mac Mini, some of those may or may not have. I don't think all the iMacs have webcams in them. Some do, some don't. The Mac Minis obviously don't. The Mac Studios don't. Then you can buy a webcam, right?
Yeah.
So
Stop
and
trying to
also,
sell Apple products, Shawn.
Well, they makes a point though, because you can have an iPhone to a MacBook, and that could work, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely. So that would be good too. Speaking of that, Shawn was telling a story earlier. We hear a lot about settlements when it comes to the tech world. Somebody gets upset, somebody starts a class action lawsuit, and then they go ahead, and anybody who bought that product or used the services could get a settlement. And there have been talks about people who've been upset with Adobe. Of course, Adobe just announced another price increase from its Lightroom package that I think is going to go from $9.99 up to $15 a month for those that want to use it. People who've been using the software that was supposed to be in perpetuity, that you bought, Creative Suite like I did, and all of a sudden you can't use it anymore because you can't get it. We can't reinstall it. When people now taking this dip into Windows 11, it's kind of what I went through. People have talked class action there. We don't know if that's ever going to happen, but you found one. This is regarding memory.
Yeah. So I got a notice in the mail, and it just says on the front, it's this is from DDR4 and DDR5 desktop memory speed settlement. So I was like, okay, I'll bite. It's addressed to me. It's got all this information on it. Apparently, a settlement has been reached in a class action lawsuit against Corsair Gaming, alleging it violated the law in connection with advertised speeds on some of its DDR4 and DDR5 non-laptop memory products.
Oh,
so I was like, wow. Wait, when did I buy RAM for? Oh, that's right. I wanted to play the Battlefield open beta.
Oh, that's right.
And so this was only like 2 or 3 months ago, and I didn't have enough. Oh, sorry. It was Monster Hunter Wilds is the game I was trying to play. And I only had 16 gigs of memory, and Monster Hunter Wilds is pretty intensive. So I ended up buying 2 16 gig sticks of DDR4 memory for my computer. And that was I have it open here because I was pulling it up. That was in February of this year, February 24, 2025. So because I bought that DDR4 Corsair memory, Corsair Vengeance LPX 32 gigs, 2 16 gig sticks, I apparently am partial to a class action lawsuit.
Oh, wow.
Now, I don't know what I'm going to get or what the settlement was. It doesn't say yet because apparently that doesn't come until January 8, 2006.
So is this a good reason to, when you buy something for your computer, whether it be a keyboard, a mouse, or a webcam or another peripheral, that you register it, or if you do an update, you register the product you bought, whether it be, again, memory?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, probably, but I didn't register this. I just bought it. I bought it on Newegg.
Right.
So I wonder if Newegg got it and then provided my information. They've
most
probably
likely.
tried to. But it says, yeah, it's just interesting because it says class counsel will be paid from the settlement fund in an amount to be determined and awarded by the court. To award the class representatives up to $5,000 each from the settlement fund.
Oh my Lord.
How much?
You've got a lot of memory.
It says up to $5,000 each. I mean, obviously, right, if there's 5 million people that bought RAM, it's going to obviously be significantly less per. But
So if Justin, as IT manager, had a big budget to buy an upgrade memory, they'd be
if he
getting
bought a bunch of Corsair memory, he might be
Yeah.
buying some Bitcoin here.
Yeah, right.
No, so yeah, the final court hearing is January 8, 2026 by Zoom video conference. So
Wow. Then you'll find out.
I will have to go into that and listen. But yeah, so I filled it out today because I just happened to have it on my desk.
Yeah.
Filled it out. It was pretty painless. I had to provide a proof of purchase, which Newegg had my receipt. And
Right.
it took me about 5 minutes to do.
It's unfortunate. There have been scams going around when it comes to the Facebook settlement. Some of the scams have involved actually sending notifications, reaching out to people, saying that they needed their username and password to be able to log in so they could set their system. And some people have fallen for that. Saying, oh, wait, I want to get some of this Facebook money. Next thing you know, they click a link because they got an email. And then that link says, oh, please log in with your username and password to your Facebook account so we can verify. And next thing you know, their account is gone. It's been taken over. So you got to be really careful of that. Or even worse, let me give you my checking account number.
Oh, geez.
And yeah.
I actually got like $30 from the Facebook settlement.
Yeah, I haven't seen my money yet. I know.
I didn't even know there was one, to be honest, probably because I wasn't on Facebook.
Yep.
You were on Facebook at the time, though, because you used to be,
I'm
right?
sure that I was privy to the timeline that the settlement covered.
But
Right.
didn't you delete your Facebook account?
No, I just deactivated it
Oh, okay.
because in the keynote, right, if people are interested in getting rid of Facebook and use it as a way to communicate with a lot of family and friends, right, using Messenger, you can deactivate your public-facing profile. So you can't
Right.
be searched, can't be, all your posts and stuff are hidden. Now, all the data is still there, so it's probably still searchable by some algorithm somewhere. But if you just deactivate it, it allows you to keep using Messenger to all of your contacts on
Really?
Facebook. And that includes pages, right? Because I still get all of the messages on the page that Tech Talk Radio has. So sometimes I get a message, it's like, oh, it's somebody that Andy can talk to. But it allows me to keep, message people that I need to talk to that are on Facebook. And so it's nice. The problem is occasionally it logs you back in on the back end.
So
and reactivates your Facebook.
Oh, boy.
So if you get
Yeah.
logged out of Messenger, when I got I upgraded to the new version of iOS and my phone did all that weird stuff and I had to flash my phone, I had to re-log into everything, right? And when I re-logged into Messenger, it decided, I'm really just going to log you back into Facebook and reactivated my Facebook profile. It didn't tell me it did that, which I feel like is kind of shady. But then I realized I have a notification on my messages and it actually loaded the mobile version through the Messenger app. So even though I didn't have the Facebook app installed on my phone, it loaded the desktop version through the Messenger app.
Oh, man.
And presented it to me as Facebook.
Right.
I was like,
right.
that's weird. I just disabled it.
Can
So
you
then-
have an Instagram account and not have a Facebook account?
No, they're not linked anymore.
Oh, they're not?
Nope.
Oh, okay. All right.
So Facebook and Instagram linked for a period of time.
Right.
And logging into Instagram was same as your Facebook. They split that probably 2 years ago or so now. So I got rid of my Instagram way before I got rid of Facebook. And then disabled my Facebook. But yeah, I don't have either of those.
All right, we got to take another quick break. We come back. Justin talked about something a few weeks ago that he was going to get. There was a couple of things that I know that he was going to get. So we're going to talk about that when we come back. And if you are a creative person, this is something you may definitely want to tune in for because it's really, I want one now. We'll be back with more of Tech Talk Radio. I'm Andy Taylor.
I'm Shawn DeWeird.
And I'm Justin. Let me find us on the web at techtalkradio.com. We'll be right back.
And now, back to Tech Talk Radio.
So Justin, over the years, there have been a lot of hobbies that you and I have shared. and I get really excited about something and I spend a lot of money on it. Or you spend a lot of money on it.
Does he start at first, Shawn, and then you go, oh, I want to do that too?
If it's kind of interesting if you go back and look at the history with me and Justin, it's like, oh, RC planes. Oh, RC cars. Oh, 3D printers, drones. So it's just kind of funny. We share a lot of similar hobbies, cameras, that kind of thing.
Yep.
But Justin finally upgraded.
Yeah.
Because we were so stagnant on it for a long time. And I haven't touched mine in a while, so I wanted to see what Justin was going to say about.
Wait a minute. You have one? I don't have one. Now I really feel out now.
I have 2.
Whoa. All right. Why don't you tell us a little bit about it?
So we're talking about a 3D printer. Was I the first one to get the 3D printer, Shawn?
Yes.
Yeah, and I got my first one was a Creality Ender 3.
Yep.
And I think that's what you have, right?
I have the Ender. I think I bought the version 2 or version 3 or something. You bought it, said it was great. By the time I bought mine, it was up one version. It's still great. I've printed.
You might
stuff
have
on
the Ender 5 or maybe just the Ender 3 Pro. Anyway,
probably Ender 3 Pro. It's been. I bought it 2022 maybe.
Yeah, I bought mine in. I want to say it was late 2019.
Yeah,
I think, and I used it extensively. The Ender 3, I used it extensively over COVID. I actually helped print out a bunch of ear relief holders for masks when everybody was wearing all the masks and it was like digging into their ears.
Yeah.
So this little thing. So I made a ton of those things, and I made some other just random stuff throughout the years. But then I kind of just fell off on it. And the problem with the Ender was it was so hard because you had to level the bed, and that's the print surface where it prints, and it's so intricate how you have to level this thing perfectly every single time. And it got to the point, and then it would keep jamming or clogging, or the prints wouldn't stick and it would fail. And you'd be printing for 12, 14 hours and then it would mess up. And then, well, there goes 14 hours and $10 worth of filament gone, so it just got to the point where I just didn't like it anymore. So I stopped.
I remember, Justin, when you did that, I could walk into Costco, or even, Sam's Club, and they were selling 3D printers there. They were huge.
It was a huge phase for a while. It's kind of died off a little bit. I mean, it's still a big hobby and there's still a lot of people that do it, but it's just gotten better and better over the years. And so, I recently, bought a, Flash Forge printer. I don't remember the exact model. I can't remember the exact model off the top of my head, but this one, it's leaps and bounds ahead of what the Ender 3 could do. It has a built-in web interface. It connects to the internet, so I can send a print from my computer directly to the printer without having to, because like the Ender 3, I had to load it onto a USB stick, walk over to the Ender 3, put it in the Ender 3's thing, boot it up, let it read the file. This, I just say print, and I just press the button on the website and it just sends it to the printer.
Is it a little faster than the previous one?
It is probably twice as fast as the other one. I mean, I printed a Benchy, which is one of the most famous little things you could print. It's like a little tugboat. And I remember on the Creality Ender 3, a Benchy would probably take about 2.5 hours. This one took 14 minutes.
Oh, wow. That's amazing.
And this is also enclosed, so it has a filtration system built in. So I can print ABS. ABS is a type of filament. It's known for more industrial purposes, I guess you could say. But ABS is also known for releasing particles into the air that aren't really good to breathe in. So with this having an internal filtration system, I can safely print ABS inside the house and not have to worry about these particles getting released into the air. But the biggest part, not only just, like I said, the website, it has a built-in camera so I can watch the printer, what it's doing. The ABS, the filtration system, but it also has automatic bed leveling. So every time it prints, there's an option to level the bed, and it will go and it will attempt to look at the variations in the bed. And things change over time. I mean, the bed moves and the bed heats up. So things warp out of row, and it could be less than a millimeter off, and it will throw off your entire print. So,
but this has auto leveling, so you don't have to worry about that. Yeah,
having the auto leveling is a big, huge thing. So, I've already printed a few things. I mean, a few just little trinkets here and there, and I actually printed out a a large desktop figurine, I guess you could say, of like a suit of power armor from Fallout.
Oh, wow.
The TV show Fallout and the video game Fallout. I printed out a huge. It's probably about 7 inches tall, I guess you could say. So I printed that out. Right now, I'm trying to remove all the supports from it, which is the supports are just what the printer uses to be able to print something that is over the limit, overhangs over the limit of where it could naturally print. So it has to build up a support structure underneath it. Think like a bridge, I guess you could say. So I'm trying to remove all these like supports everywhere, and it's a pain in the butt, but it works really well. And I like the printer. The only problem was I didn't really have a place to put it.
Is it bigger than the Endor?
It's actually, I think it's a tiny bit smaller than the Ender. But again, it's enclosed. So it's just a big black box, and it's got windows on it so you can see what you're looking at. It's got a light inside of it too, so you can see, but I just didn't have a place to put it. And so I initially put it on our kitchen, our dining room table.
Oh, I bet that went over well.
Yeah, no, not really. So then I tried to move it downstairs, and I everywhere I would put it, the table or the desk that I put it on, it wasn't sturdy enough. And so when the printer is making fine adjustments back and forth and it's printing a bunch of stuff really, really fast, it starts vibrating. And then if the table vibrates and the whole machine vibrates, and then it's kind of like that old video from San Francisco or whatever, where that bridge is kind of doing that thing, and then the bridge ends up breaking, the resonance or whatever. Yeah. So you got to have something sturdy. So I actually went out to, what was it? Habitat for Humanity. They have like an overstock place that you can go to, that it's like a bunch of building materials and like kitchen cabinets and countertops and things that are just left over. And I actually found it was actually a donated item. It wasn't even brand new, but it was just this tiny little, kind of like an end table with a drawer, but it had a metal frame to it. And it was just big enough, wide enough to place the printer on. So I bought that for $25, put it in the basement, and put the printer on it. And now it just sits there, and it works really well. So yeah, the Flash Forge is the system I got now. I really like it. It was about $450, I want to say, something like that, about $450.
What about the somebody listening that's thinking, well, this would be great, because some people have found that they can make stuff for their home, hangers. They could make
all kinds of stuff. I mean, there's a bunch of websites you can go to that just have thousands of things. I mean, there's things on there I just browse, and I'm like, oh wow, that'd be kind of cool to do. Like, I didn't even know that existed, and I'm like, wow, that's actually kind of a cool thing.
And that's the thing. You go online, you could find a template basically for something maybe. And with the holiday season coming up, I'm sure a lot of people create stuff for, Halloween or Christmas, Thanksgiving, that they could use as part of their decorations.
Yep, exactly. And I've already made some Halloween decorations and stuff. So it's it's a really cool system. The one that was actually, this one still only does a single color print. However, within the printing process, I can tell it to stop at a certain level, and then it will wait for me to pull the filament out and change it out. So for instance, I printed out a vanilla ice cream cone.
Okay.
The cone itself, I used a gold filament to make it kind of look like a waffle cone, or not a waffle cone, but just a regular cone. And then I stopped it at the layer where the ice cream starts, and I swapped it out for white filament. And so when it got done, it looks like a real vanilla ice cream cone.
But 3D, it's 3D.
But a 3D printer. Yeah, it's all plastic.
Wow. Now, so what is the cost? Like when you get down, we know how much the device is, but what about the cost of the materials? Is it worth it if you're doing a piece here, a piece there, to go ahead and make stuff with this?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the filament's not that expensive. I mean, the filament's anywhere from $20 to $30 for 1 kilogram of filament, which it'll last you quite a while. Depends on what you're printing. I mean, if you're printing a big old, 7-inch figurine, like I mentioned, I probably could print 4 or 5 of those with 1 roll of filament. But if you're making these little small things, like let's say a doorstop or a coat hanger or, just something like that, you could print hundreds of those things with 1 roll of filament. And it's, like I said, between $20 and $30 for a filament.
Like I bought something like this, and I'm showing it on the camera here.
Yeah, easily can make that.
this is a headphone hanger. You put it on a desk, and then you could hang a headphone on it. And I probably paid. You've got one too, and that's one you made, right?
I made this with the original Creality Ender 3, and it's just a small little headphone hanger. Headphones just sit right on top here, and it just sits on the desk. And this is about 5 or 6 years old, and it still works great.
I paid maybe $30 for mine. This one,
You could print that for probably about $3.
$3. Wow. It's just a fun project to do. Is Eric kind of taking interest in it as well?
Little bit. I mean, he's asked some questions about it, and he's found some things that he wants, but he's like, hey, print this for me. And then I just print it for him. Like I made a little fidget clicker thing for him to play with. Mostly like little fidget things, or like these little, like, you can find them in like gift shops and stuff, but like these 3D, like dragons or whatever with a tail, and it kind of wiggles back and forth, but it's all print in place. Like you don't have to put it together, and it's got like interchangeable links, so it can actually move. And this looks really cool. And I printed a bunch of those, giving them to some friends and kids and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, I like it. It's a hobby. It's just a fun little hobby.
Now, if our listeners want to get more information on it, do you know of a website they could go to look up this specific model that you have, and maybe they want to give it a shot and have some fun?
Well, I've been going to a couple different ones. Probably the biggest ones out there are Maker World, makerworld.com, and then Thingiverse. It's like THINGI verse, Thingiverse.com. Those are websites that just have thousands and thousands of print jobs that you can do, and they're all free. Well, most of them are free. There's a couple that are, premium ones that you can pay, that you have to pay for, but by far majority of them are free. And you just download the file, you load it into a piece of software called a slicer, and there's multiple slicers out in the market that are free. FlashForge actually comes with one called Orca, and you just load the file into the slicer and click slice, and then click send to printer, and boom, it's done. And then it just starts printing.
All right, we're going to take another quick break. We come back with more of Tech Talk Radio. I'm Andy Taylor.
I'm Shawn DeWeer.
And I'm Justin Lemmy. Find us on the web at techtalkradio.com. We'll be right back.
And now, back to Tech Talk Radio.
Now, at the beginning of the show, I mentioned that Microsoft was making a lot of mistakes, including the recent announcement that they are increasing yet again the monthly charge for Xbox Game Pass. This is their subscription service that allows you to play, hundreds of games when you want, and it gives you cloud gaming. It gives you the streaming ability. You can stream your console remotely. I bought into the Game Pass when it first came out at $10 a month. I stayed with it when it went to $19.99 a month. And recently, was it last year? They had a massive deal on Woot, which is Amazon's like subsidiary Woot. And I bought 2 full years of Game Pass, 1 year for Eric, or actually a year and a half for myself and a year and a half for Eric. And I think I spent like $550, but we got paid, both of us, up until November of 2026. Well, as of this November of 2025, Xbox is increasing it from $19.99 a month to $29.99 a month.
That's a lot of money.
It's a lot.
It's getting ridiculous. And here's the thing. When they bought Activision Blizzard, they had to go in front of the FTC and say, we are not going to increase the price of Game Pass with this purchase, because that was the big deciding factors, whether the government allows them to do this. They were like, hey, you're creating a monopoly here. You're just going to be able to raise the prices to whatever you want. And they're like, no, we're not going to do that. Yeah, fast forward a year, they're doing it.
Wow.
And there's so many people all over saying, we're done. We're done with Game Pass. We're done with Microsoft. We're canceling our games. The problem is people don't buy games anymore. So they cancel Game Pass, and now they have nothing to play because they don't own any games.
Yep.
Now, there's another rumor out there, and I don't know how true this is. We have to do some research. Maybe we can talk about it more next week. But somebody was saying on Reddit somewhere that, hey, Xbox is saying that if you do not cancel your subscription and you have reoccurring billing turned on, which most people do, that your Game Pass will be grandfathered in at the price of $19.99, and it's only $29.99 for the people that sign up now moving forward. I don't know how true that is, because even though I'm paid up until November of 26, I'm still getting emails saying, hey, your price is going to increase to $29.99.
So I quickly searched The Verge has an article that says it's delaying the price increase for existing subscribers in certain markets, meaning new purchases get the new pricing, but current users keep existing rates as long as their subscription is still active and set to auto-renew.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. Well, that's good.
Well, I went ahead and canceled mine. I canceled mine already, but
wow.
I'm paid up. I'm paid up through November 26th. So at that point, I'm done.
Right.
Mine's set to auto-renew, and it has been since 2019.
And you still have Steam, so you can play games there, right?
Oh, yeah,
I'd have to look to see what I'm paying for it. I know I got an update saying my price was going to change, but I'm curious if because mine's set to auto-renew, I'm curious if it's going to change or not.
All right, we'll talk more about this next week.
I'll find out and we'll report back next week.
Sounds good. That's it for this week's Tech Talk Radio. I'm Andy Taylor.
I'm Shawn DeWeert.
And I'm Justin Lemmy. Find us on the web at techtalkradio.com. Have yourselves a great week. We'll see you.